Hello everybody, Ox Bigley here. As you may have heard past couple of days, internet personality Justin Carmichael, known as Jew Wario, passed away as a result of him committing suicide. I wanted to talk about this subject because I've dealt with it personally. For those who've known me for a long time, my Manic Expression, other people who've known me personally, it's something I've dealt with. Back in, I think it was 2012, I had gotten to a point, I was out of work for about a year or so, and I gotten to the point where I was just immense amounts of depression. And something happened that kind of made the snowball, go downhill, and I was like, there's nothing I can do. I'm fed up with everything. There's there's nothing worth hanging around for. I wanted to make this video and I want to talk about this subject because mainly I know that there are other people that go through this. I know there are other people who go through depression. Now, I don't know exactly why Justin Carmichael Jew Wario did what he did. Nobody's gonna know that. His closest people, his family, his wife, they may have some idea. But from what I can gather from what his friends from Channel Awesome, how they spoke of him, you would never pictured him as being somebody who was possibly depressed or anything else. Again, I don't know I don't know the reasoning behind. Nobody will. But I do know what my reasoning was, and I'm making this video to address this issue in hopes to be able to help somebody else. Because if you're in the situation where you feel like that is your only answer, I want you to know one thing. That it's never the right answer. It's regardless of however you're thinking at the time, it's not the right answer. And the reason why it's not the right answer is not because of any flighty thing that somebody might tell you that you are going to feel is flighty or flaky or whatever. The main reason why is because you're not thinking clearly. How many times that when you're angry, another emotional extreme, do you make stupid decisions? How many times when you're angry you've broken something or you've acted a certain way to somebody that you've immediately regretted once you've calmed down? I'm just using anger as an example. That's my personal point of reference, unfortunately. When you are in that mindset of, I want out, you're not thinking clearly. And I beg you, for anybody who's ever thought of this, thought of taking their own life, or anybody who is in that area of depression, seek your friends. Even if you don't have friends, even if your friends you feel are perhaps even the cause of this, or they're unreliable or whatever. Oh, I called them up to hang out last Tuesday and they didn't call me back, or they said yeah but then nothing happened or whatever. Doesn't matter. Okay, if they've been your friends long enough, they care about you. If you have family, they care about you. I don't care what your excuses are. They care about you. Because that's nothing. Again, there was a live stream that Nash from Radio Dead Air had in memoriam with a lot of people from Channel Awesome and other friends of Justin Carmichael had, and everything that all that they could do was just express their love for this man and wonder why on earth would he do this. So there's no shortage of people who love this guy. The thing is that when you're in that mindset, you are not thinking clearly. And if maybe while you're in that mindset, if you're able to just grasp that idea that I'm not thinking clearly, I'm going to make a stupid decision if I continue down this road, and I'm going to make a big mistake. If you can maybe even have that thought into your head, it'll help, and it will maybe give you that 1 second to stop and change your mind. Now, my situation, in the deep depression I was in bed. I slept. I didn't even get up. I got up to go to the bathroom. I went right back to bed. I didn't eat. Wasn't drinking any water. Nothing. I was trying to starve myself. And then, because I was sort of getting impatient with that because it was taking too long, I had friends that were reaching out to me, and I was just kind of shutting them out, which is not the right thing to do. It's what you want to do at the time because you want to be alone and you want to be left alone. Well, the thing is, the only reason why you're alone is because you want to be alone. And you feel like you're alone, that's because you're making yourself alone. You're shutting other people out. Reach to those people. If they come up, you know what? Humor them. I know you don't want to, but do it. Humor them. Let them come in. Let them talk to you. Discuss what is weighing your heart down. Because in doing so, you have a fresh pair of eyes and a fresh mind that isn't being narrowly focused and blinded by emotion. And they're going to be able to see things clearer than you are. Now, again, that's not something that you are going to initially even think of because you're being blinded by, whether it be anger, depression, whatever it is, you're not thinking clearly. Ultimately, what happened with me personally, I had a friend of mine who was did a Bible study every week, and he's just like, he wasn't even really inviting me out to the Bible study. He has a pool table. He's like, come out, play some pool, get your mind off of things, and if you want, we'll talk. He wasn't even trying to push talking to me. At that point, I think I had already given up on trying to starve myself, so I was drinking a lot of water, and lemon and lemon water to try to replace what I had lost over a couple of days. I don't remember how long it was. I was at that point where it was almost like Groundhog Day. Like every day was the same, and there was no difference, and it was just you lose track of time. I actually got in here and I got on my computer and I started playing Lunar Pool for the NES. An old game I had from a long time ago. And that just got me thinking, it's like, you know what, I think I'm going to take them up on it. And believe it or not, just being around people helps. Even if you're not even talking about the situation. Which I didn't do that day. It helps. When you are alone, all you have is yourself, and if all your consciousness, if everything that you're telling yourself is negative, that's all you're hearing is nothing but negativity. Now, maybe you have had a crap life. I know I've had. I know that I've been, it's like I've been handed the business end of a plunger in my entire life. Okay, I get that. Maybe your life's been crap. Okay, so maybe there is legitimate negativity there. But there's no reason why it should stay that way. Now, I say that, I'll be honest with you, I'll say that somewhat hypocritically, and it's something that, and these emotions, especially if it's something that you're used to doing, that you're accustomed to doing, it's hard to break. That's why you need to reach out to your friends. That's why you need to reach out to your family. That's why you need to talk to people. Because if you don't, and you're leaving yourself alone, you're only going to be alone with those, you and your thoughts. And if your thoughts are going to be harmful to yourself, that's when you, if you're going to run away to your friends, run away to your family, run away to people who do care about you regardless of what you think. That's been about 2 years ago. I'd like to say that, you know, I've moved on and I've gotten better. You don't get, with these kind of things, you don't get better. I will say that right now. That's something that maybe people are going to get mad at me for saying, but you don't get better. It's not an issue of getting better. It's an issue of how you deal with things. And if you're dealing with things more positively than you were, yes, that will become getting better. Do I still have problems with this? Anger issues and depression? Yes. Do I seek the same easy out that I did before? No. And I can't. I don't want to. And I think that once, I mean, I know there's people that have tried multiple times. Maybe it's because they've tried and failed, or I don't know. I honestly don't know. I know that those are situations. But whether or not they had anybody close to them to reach out to, I don't know that either. But the point I'm trying to make, and I may be stepping over myself and verbally neandering, and I apologize for that. Reach out. It's the last thing you want to do. I know it's the last thing you want to do. The last thing you want to do is to hear the hippie language of, oh, everything's going to be okay, and you know, you don't have to do that, da da da. And all you're thinking of is this deep, dark, you know, basically wanting to tell them, shut up and piss off. I get that. But you need it. Because if you don't have that, and if you don't listen to that, and if you don't stop yourself and just do something, I mean, if you have to do something, take your mind off of it, but do it with people there. So I'll explain what really got me going. And I was in that depression. And then I went and I sought out something to make me worse. Again, I was by myself. I went and I sought out the theme song from the movie MASH. Anybody who's seen that thing, you know. Even if you don't know anything about the movie, you only seen the TV show, you know the name of the theme song. It's called Suicide is Painless. I listened to that song with the lyrics. And at that moment, it was like, it's almost like when you're in love, all the love songs on the radio make sense. It's because your mind is tuned in that manner. That's a very, very friggin' depressing song. It's talking about taking your own life. And it's talking about it almost in a positive manner, which I'm surprised that got airplay. And I'm surprised that got popular. Considering if you did something like that now, you'd have every, you know, nanny group in the universe coming down on it. But regardless, that song spoke to me at the time. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to do this. But was that the right answer? No. So what I'm trying to say is, if you're going to try to seek out things to take your mind off of it, do it legitimately. Actually try to find things that are going to take your mind off of it. Something that has nothing to do with the situation. That's why I say go seek out friends and go do something, anything. Even if you're hanging out at their house talking, watching TV at their house or whatever. Because even little things, See, that was something I sought out, though. But even little things. Let's say you're watching TV and some situation happens on a TV or show or a movie that you're watching, and it makes the situation worse. It reminds you of your own situation. And you get angry vicariously through the character on the TV. You know, it's like, well, that crap's happened to me. I'm sick of this. That's why I'm saying go seek somebody out. Because you can play a video game, yeah, you can watch TV, you can go into your little corners and do these things. But ultimately, it will only maybe postpone it. You need your family. You need your friends. Even if you claim to not have them, you need them. If you're in school and you don't have friends, you're an outsider, you're an outcast, people are messing with you, whatever. Believe it or not, as much as you might not want to agree with your teachers, your guidance counselors, whatever, whoever, talk to them. Talk to anybody. Anybody who's willing to listen. Anybody who's willing to listen and not patronize you, and not talk down to you, and not be a jerk about it. And here's the thing. I know I just said someone who's not going to be patronizing, someone who's not going to talk down to you. When you're in this mindset, you're going to think everybody's patronizing and everybody's talking down to you. Okay? Ignore that. Completely and wholeheartedly ignore that. I know that's going to be very difficult to do. That's like it's like going 50 mile, going down the interstate at 70 plus miles an hour and then trying to throw your car into reverse. It's a hard thing to do. Very difficult. I get it. But in breaking down that analogy, it is possible. But the thing is, first you have to stop. Then you're able to go reverse out of the situation. I hope that this helps somebody. Because in a way, it's helped me to share this. I know I've not really shared this with too many people, especially now that I'm putting it out there on the internet for everybody to see. Especially people who haven't seen me. So I'm expecting, some morons making comments. And you know what? That's going to happen. Whatever. To the family of Justin Carmichael, I want to give my condolences. Personally, I will say this: I didn't know the man. I hardly watched maybe a few small handful of his videos. From what I could tell, the man was hilarious. The man was funny. The man was a great guy to be around. That's from what little I've seen. My condolences to you and to your family, and I hope that you find comfort in this time. And to anybody else who may be seeing this, maybe as a last-ditch effort to try to stop themselves, I hope you take what I said to heart, and I hope that you've really, really taken what I said seriously, because believe it or not, it's true. And I know you don't want to hear positive things when you are thinking nothing but negative, but they are true. And you may have friends that you haven't seen forever that's on Facebook and telling you, oh, why are you doing this? We love you, da da da. And you're like, you don't love me. You haven't seen you in ages. What are you talking about? Oh, you post you like something I post like once a month or something like that, just to make me remember you exist. You know what? Doesn't matter. They say they love you. They do. Because whether or not you acknowledge it, your personality, your particular outlook on life, the way you are, affects people around you. You're you because nobody else can be. And whether or not, and that's the thought I had, it's like, oh, the world would be better without me. I know that when you're in this mindset, you're being selfish. But in a way, and maybe that's the mindset of some people. It's like, I'll show them, I'll make them feel sorry. No. think about them. Seriously think about what would happen. Let's say that, imagine to yourself, if you're in a situation, a good friend that you knew, good, awesome guy you knew, or whoever that you know, all of a sudden did what you're doing, or what you're intending to do. How would that make you feel? Again, these are things that are hard to do because your mind is blinded by your emotions. I'm sure some lesser person can make a Star Wars reference, but it is true. You're not going to solve anything. You can't solve anything. I've heard of people who are being, cyberbullied or bullied in real life, that they take their own lives. Doesn't solve anything. It's not going to stop people from being, idiots. It's not going to stop people from having their hemorrhoids wrapped around their neck, if you know what I'm saying. It's not going to happen. So, in all honesty, you will die for nothing. And that's not worth it. I think I'm done. So, again, to the family of Justin Carmichael, my condolences, and my heart goes out to you, and to his friends, and just keep remembering the positive things that happen. It's not going to make sense. It won't make sense, because when you're in that mindset, your logic is illogic, and it will make sense when you're in that mindset, but when you're not, it's like trying to say that 2 + 2 = banana. And I know that may sound funny, but it's true. Thank you for your time.